Okay. Huh. In the threes? Word.
Have used latex paint. An area of 500 square meters can be installed in one day. This is wood veneer. It can be installed directly on the wall to reduce labor costs, is mildew-proof, moisture-proof, and crack-proof, and can be moved in immediately after installation. Please leave a message if you need samples.
If I was to show a grade 9 this chart, I would say jump to a business owner, because now you're not limited. Now you can make way more money, and now you can jump into this because you increased it from there to there. And then the other half, throw it into investments. And this, guys, is how you create a rich lifestyle. What is programmed into us and all humans for decades is to be here and stay stuck, keep paying the system, high taxes, unhealthy people, unhappy people that keep them sedated, drugs and booze that the system peddles you and sells you and keeps you in a low vibration energy frequency that's associated with these two income quadrants. So why don't they teach this in school? Because that would crumble the whole fucking system and they wouldn't make any money off these human beings. Imagine if they took 2 minutes and showed this chart to every grade 9er up leveling into high school, how the world would be different. Fact check that.
Views on this video and I'll be completely dead. Internet. It proves that we can all come together, help each other with zero money, zero effort, and very little time. For those that don't know, there's this trend going around called pay off my debt. And usually the person that's making a video says, hey, I only need 30 million views on this video and I'll be completely debt free. So what are they saying? Well, let me explain. So with the creativity program on TikTok, you get paid for the views that you get on your video, but not for all the views, only the qualified views. Well, what is a qualified view? Qualified view is just a view from a person who has interacted with your video or has watched it more than 5 seconds. In most cases, your qualified views are usually around half of what your overall views are. Now, you also have what is called an RPM. An RPM is just the amount of money that you get paid per every 1,000 views. So let's just say you have 1 million qualified views and your RPM is set to, let's say, $1. Well, then that person will make $1,000 off of that video. So now when you see a video that says I only need around 30 million views to be completely debt free, that person is essentially saying I only need around $25,000 to $30,000. But what's so cool about this? Well, because most people don't have money to help other people. So if you can help somebody by simply watching the video for a few seconds, why not? I've seen this help people pay hospital bills, student loans, home foreclosures, just everything. The next time you see a video like that, just watch it and maybe you can help that person out. I don't care what nobody say. This trend is by far the best trend that has ever hit the internet. It proves that we can all come together, help each other with zero money, zero effort, and very little time. For those that don't know, there's this trend going around called pay off my debt. And usually the person that's making a video says, hey, I only need 30 million views on this video and I'll be completely debt free. So what are they saying? Well, let me explain. So with the creativity program on TikTok, you get paid for the views that you get on your video, but not for all the views, only the qualified views. Well, what is a qualified view? Qualified view is just a view from a person who has interacted with your video or has watched it more than 5 seconds. In most cases, your qualified views are usually around half of what your overall views are. Now, you also have what is called an RPM. An RPM is just the amount of money that you get paid per every 1,000 views. So let's just say you have 1 million qualified views and your RPM is set to, let's say, $1. Well, then that person will make $1,000 off of that video. So now when you see a video that says I only need around 30 million views to be completely debt free, that person is essentially saying I only need around $25,000 to $30,000. But what's so cool about this? Well, because most people don't have money to help other people. So if you can help somebody by simply watching the video for a few seconds, why not? I've seen this help people pay hospital bills, student loans, home foreclosures, just everything. The next time you see a video like that, just watch it and maybe you can help that person out.
Put these on now.
We are infinite explosions, out of sight, out of mind, out of time. All we have are moments. All we have are moments. Never leave this moment. All we have are moments. Lost inside this moment.
You want to go on my plane?
Question is, can you tell me like everything I need to know?
Yes, I can. And I've already actually said it. Everything you need to know is this. Truly, this. Whatever options are available to you at any given moment, choose the one that contains more excitement than any other, even if it's just a little bit more. Act on it to the best of your ability, taking it as far as you can until you can take it no further. Do this with integrity. Do this with absolutely no assumption, no insistence on what the outcome ought to be or how it should look or how you should get there whatsoever. When you do that, 3-part formula, act on your highest excitement to the best of your ability with no insistence on the outcome, you open up and activate the kit, the toolkit of excitement. The toolkit contains everything you need to be supported in life in whatever form it needs to come in, the driving engine that moves you through life, the organizing principle of synchronicity that allows you to do what you need to do when you need to do it in perfect timing, in perfect order. It becomes the path of least resistance that allows you to flow through your life effortlessly. It becomes the path that connects you to all other expressions of your excitement, even if they don't look like they're connected on the surface. It's the excitement that tells you that they are. And it becomes the reflective mirror that reveals to you anything within your consciousness that might be out of alignment with that excitement, so that you can identify those definitions that don't work for you and let them go and add their energy to your excitement and continue to expand. And then any circumstance whatsoever, any situation whatsoever that arises from those actions, no matter how it looks, if you give it a positive meaning, you will only get a positive and beneficial effect, regardless of how the situation may have originated, regardless of anyone else's opinion or experience in that situation. That's it. That's all you need to know. Now, many people on your planet choose to complicate things beyond that and make them more difficult, but they don't have to. If they do, then that's their process. But it all comes down to understanding that what you believe to be true, what you define to be true, is how you experience your reality. And that your beliefs generate your feelings, your thoughts, and your behaviors. So anytime you have a behavior you don't prefer, a thought you don't prefer, a feeling you don't prefer, you can always trace it back down the line to something you must believe to be true that you're not aware of. Find out what that belief and definition is. When you identify it, if it's out of alignment with your true self, you will find that it will suddenly be nonsensical and illogical, and you'll drop it and let it go. If you don't drop it, if you still behave the same way, you haven't found the deeper belief yet. Keep digging. That's it. That's all you actually need to know. And one more thing. As you do this, as you move through life in this way, acting on your highest excitement, you will start living more in the present, living more in the moment. And because of that, you will know what you need to know when you need to know it.
Let me help you with sourcing. If you want to purchase products from a Chinese factory or get samples, I can help you all the way through from product procurement to logistics. We have worked with more than 3,000 suppliers from China, and our warehouse is around 5,000 square meters. We can buy anything that you want and deliver it to your door. We inspect the products before we ship the products to you, and if the products are defective, we can provide return or exchange services. Once your product is shipped, you can track your delivery in real time, and the products can be shipped to your door in as fast as just 5 days. We also provide FBA prepping service for Amazon sellers, as well as ozone prepping service for ozone sellers. For the US especially, we have 3 direct shipping lines: Los Angeles, Houston, and New York. And of course, we have also shipping lines for the entire European region. Remember, my friends, we procure and ship everything from housing items to building materials to cosmetics and even medicine and food items. PM me if you're interested to know more. I'm Liz from China, your best business partner.
You're thinking about painting your room? Here's some things you should know. Painting the back wall will shorten the room. Painting the back wall and ceiling makes it feel wider. Painting everything but the back wall makes it feel like a tunnel. Painting a high-level ribbon stretches and lowers the room. Painting the ceiling will create the feeling of it being lower. Painting the sidewalls will make everything feel tighter. And painting everything will make it feel compact. So ask yourself, what's the feeling you want?
Pay close attention to the information I'm about to give you. I don't watch or listen to the news or any entertainment programs that influence my emotions, which is energy in motion. If we analyze this closely and we look at the word entertainment and we break it into its 3 syllables, it is there for you in plain sight, but you must be willing to pay attention. Enter, from Latin root word entrare, which means enter. Ten or tain, from Latin root words which mean to hold, to attain. And last but not least, ment, from Latin word mente, ablative singular of men's mind. Then you can see it clear as day. Enter, attain, ment, entertainment. News, north, east, west, south. That is exactly what is happening to your mind when you allow the flow of that information through your nervous system. Your brain is being pinpointed to every single direction, causing confusion and a mental war within the collective mind, followed by emotion, which then has no choice than to manifest itself into reality. If you practice the art of alchemy, you will know that it is the perfect recipe for the manipulation of an outcome. The energy of a collective thought plus emotion equals physical manifestation. Now, knowing this, you have to ask yourself this question: are you really in control? And if you don't know the answer to this question, you're not. This is why the true spiritual community has been called to step forward and guide humanity to disconnect from all the distractions and go within by following the heart. Within your vessel, your temple, all infinite knowledge and data already exists. But the moment you allow black mirrors and outside interference to influence your very hackable mind, you have then given your power away, your energy, to be manipulated by forces that don't trigger your awareness of its existence. And that is just some high-end technology. See, disconnecting from this war on information gives you the power back to you. You are so much more than you were led to believe, but you have to let go of the fear of your own light, of your own divinity. We can start by unblocking our earth root chakra at the base of our spine, which is a spiraling energy point in our bodies. When this chakra is unbalanced or blocked, it causes fear, insecurity, and anxiety. This chakra is what balances your survival, your vitality, security, and your stability here on this realm, on this earth. To unblock it, you must be willing to face your biggest fear, which is the fear of your own light, blocked by the insecurities created for you when you were led to believe that you were insignificant. Then you must let go of any guilt you may have. See, it was always you. And it's time to take control by letting go of everything that is not you. Embrace your uniqueness. That is how you can better serve humanity. All the chaos that you see in the world right now is simply being projected by the current state of the collective mind. Remember, If you want peace, you must be willing to face the war within you.
You know, hip-hop changing from positive to negative was not a consequence of history. It was not a circumstance of history. It was nothing that just happened on its own. It had nothing to do with the changing of the times. It had nothing to do with that. It had everything to do with the fact that there are people in this particular society who wants to see us exactly where we are. And we cannot let that point elude us. These are the facts. How do we know? 1967, Kerner Commission report on urban disorder. When black people said, yo, we're tired of this system. You know what I mean? This system is oppressing us. So we rebelled against the system. We burned things. We said, yo, we had enough. He did his little report on what caused these riots. He said, what caused these riots? He said it was young children who started these riots, and what was motivating them was a high self-esteem and an enhanced racial pride. He said the majority of the rioters were high school dropouts, but they had a higher political orientation than their peers who did not drop out. And they saw the system as their enemy, so they attacked it in the right circumstance. So, fast forward to 1992. Same thing. #1 record on the radio, we had Fight the Power. Fight the Power is on the radio. Rodney King gets beaten before the world. The black youth rebelled against the system. Again, they did it again. And why? What primed them? Positive hip-hop. Primed them. Fight the Power. X-Clan. Brand Nubian. You had these groups out here who were pushing, who were politically orienting black kids in the right direction, giving them the proper prompters that they needed so that they can respond properly to oppression. All right? In 1967, when the riots happened, he saw that the self-esteem and the racial pride was fueling this. So he said, how do I bring that down so that they will not riot? And what he did, he flooded the airways with black exploitation movies. Nigga Charlie and the Return of Nigga Charlie. These were movies. Hip-hop didn't start calling people niggas. We had Shav. We had Coffee. Black girl turned prostitute to do whatever. You know what I mean? But these black exploitation movies brought down the self-esteem and racial pride so that the kids will not rebel against this system of oppression. 92, the racial pride was back in effect. We had black kids going to Dr. Ben Yuckinen lectures. We were spending our money to go see Farrakhan speak as opposed to going to a strip club. This is where we were. The most coveted article of clothing was a historically black college or university sweater. We were motivating children towards positive attitudes and lifestyles. And when Rodney King got the beating, heads responded properly. Fast forward to our day. Sean Bell is shot 50 times in the street in New York by police officers. #1 song on the radio, Like a Lollipop. Nobody do nothing. Nobody respond to nothing. Trust me, trust me. Just like the brother, I believe it was JT, the bigger figure, who said that the label executives came to him and said, yo brother, we need you talking about guns and whores. You know what I mean? That's right. That happens. I've been in those meetings with management and had to ask me, is what you're saying really what you believe, so that we'll know how to market you properly. You know what I mean? This happens. Young Buck on his album, he has a song on his album that talks about police terrorism. The label said absolutely not. Jimmy Iovine said absolutely not. You cannot put that record on the album because it might create an atmosphere that might put police officers' lives in danger. Right. So they took the record off, but they let him keep the other 14 songs on the album that talked about killing black youth. So this is what we're dealing with. We're not dealing with a circumstance or consequence of history. You know what I mean? The environment that we're embedded in puts us in a situation where we feel we have to maneuver and play the game and water our message down. You know what I mean? But no, what happened was they intentionally shifted the paradigm to get us exactly where we are right now. Right now, we're feeding the prison industrial complex right now. Our kids are going to prison because they're promoting these records. They're promoting these records daily that send us to jail. You know what I mean? It's cool to go to jail. You know what I mean? They glorify these things. And it's not the black youth. We're in a position where we get, like the brother said, the choice. You know, he said, yo, I chose the positive. So I didn't do it. But every youth is not going to take that route. I know. I come from the projects. Grew up in the projects all my life. You know what I mean? And we're not turning down $500,000 to say nigga. We're not going to do it because we won't turn down $200 to take a package of crack from one corner to the next. You know what I mean? We live in a state of poverty and want of all things. So it's hard for us to make that. Our judgment is clouded. And they knew that the judgment would be even more clouded if they took groups like X-Clan off the radio. This is just what it is. And until we start to deal with the environment that's shaping the behavior, we'll never get to the next level. We have to confront that. Thanks.
Did you know cornrows were used by enslaved people to escape slavery? They transferred information and created maps through their cornrows since they couldn't read or write. Originating in Colombia, South America, in the late 1500s, Benko's Bioho had women create maps and deliver messages via their braids, called canaros to symbolize the sugarcane fields. One style had curved braids representing escape routes. They also hid gold and seeds in their braids for survival and planting crops once free. This clever method kept owners unaware of their plans to escape.
Yeah. No, do you believe? I believe I am a white man. Don't you know that belief is a doubt? How is belief a doubt? Eh? How is belief Because you cannot believe something and know it. If you take my poor brain, wait. Hang on. I cannot believe it and know it. No. And you can only believe in what you don't know. I like that. You can only believe in what you don't know. You don't know. That's why you have to believe it. Yes. Ah. Now, do you believe in your mother and father? No, I know my mother and father. Yeah. So, but you might believe in Jesus. I might believe in Jesus. Because you don't know Jesus. I've never met him. You can only believe in what you don't know. True. So know that belief is a doubt. Believe. Now, do you know that you are a white man? If you know that you are white, explain to me how you know this. Okay. My mother is Portuguese and she's white. My father is Scottish with blonde and blue eyes. And you reckon they are white? I reckon. All right. Listen to this conversation. Go on, you tell. If I get water, yeah, it's quite simple, innit? Yeah. I get a black can, a white one, a blue one, and a yellow one, and I fill them with water and seal them. Yeah, okay. When you look, would you see the water? You can't see the water at all. What would you see? Nothing, just the white or the black. You would see the different colors. The different colors. And if you trust those eyes of yours, you're going to believe that they're different, aren't you? I will believe it. Until you go and fucking taste them. Correct. And what are you going to discover? That it's all just water. All one. Oneness in diversity, we call it. Yeah. Now you see all these human beings that you see. Yeah. Who believe that they are Japanese, Chinese, blacks, and whites. Yeah. They are the same. And if you go to any one of them, excuse me, sir, what color is your mind? You see, you hear what he said? He doesn't know what color his mind is. No, go and ask a Japanese, he don't know either. No. Because we are spirits living in different color physical bodies. We are not our bodies. When you look with the eyes, you're not seeing me, you are seeing the body. Just like I tell you, when you look at the tins, you won't see the water, will you? No. So, will you look at my body and say I'm a black man? That is a program. You was programmed from birth, yeah, to believe that you are blacks and whites. But you fuck all like that. You're just a spirit in a body full of the same stinking shit. Thank you, my friend.
The difference between a woman that wants to be a wife versus a woman that just wants a husband.
Oh. You know what? I think most of us are bred to just want a husband. Whereas to be groomed and trained to be a wife means to understand how to respect masculine energy, how to truly be inside of your feminine, which means trusting the leadership of your partner, because feminine chooses certainty. Feminine doesn't choose flow, because feminine is flow, right? Feminine energy. When we choose to understand that it is our biggest opportunity to seek out the needs of a man without him expressing them, I think a beautiful opportunity for us to empower that man and ride through the storms. I feel like we live in a weak generation where things get hard and people immediately are like, oh, I quit, this is too hard. And that's like, it's never going to hinder you the result you want. If you keep quitting, it's to be groomed as a wife means it's compassion, it's longevity. That's where marriage starts. When you get married, you say, I do, it starts. Whereas other people, it's like when you get married, I made it. No, you didn't make it. You hate that man. You hate that woman. Y'all can't stand each other. You don't care enough to not disrespect each other or call each other out of your own name. You don't care enough to not want to sleep on opposite sides of the bed when there's a problem. You don't care enough to have the hard conversation so that you can move together more powerfully. That's just to have a husband. But when you want to be a wife, things are different, in my opinion.
That's very true.
What you are is a lot more incredible. You are an eternal soul, a spark of the infinite, a being of mathematical frequencies, and you originate from a place beyond the physical realm, a realm of pure thought, where everything exists as frequency patterns. This immaterial domain of mind is our true home, but how do we return? Well, it's not about rejecting the world like the Cathars believed, but about engaging with it fully, with eyes wide open, to the lessons that it offers. You don't have to give up your smartphone or your favorite foods to find enlightenment. Instead, it's about understanding that while these things are part of our lives, they don't define us. We are so much more. Think about it. Every single thing that we do, every joy, every challenge, it's an opportunity to grow, to learn, and expand. We're here to experience everything, the good, the bad, and everything in between. This world, with all its chaos and beauty, isn't a prison. It's more like a school, a workshop where we learn, grow, and evolve. We are eternal beings of light and energy that are temporarily experiencing the material realm.
Now, one other tip I'll give you is I don't own a debit card. I've never owned one. I've never allowed my 3 sons to possess one. Certainly and truly the worst financial tool ever given to the American consumer. So a long time ago, I asked myself a simple question: how would I remove 99.9% of my personal liability like that? Because I really don't want to worry about all these things. So I use the safest form of payment that exists on the face of the earth, and that is a credit card. Credit card. Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover card. Not debit credit, but credit card. Every day of my life, I spend their money. I don't spend my money. My money sits in a money market account. It earns interest. Actually, nobody knows where it is because it's not exposed to anybody to find it. It's just sitting there. I go to the dry cleaner, I give them my card. I pick up the groceries, I give them my card. I put fuel in my boat on the weekend, I use my card. I pay the marina to keep my boat in the water all year long. They put the rent on my credit card. I travel all over the world. While I wait to get reimbursed, I use my credit card. If I need euros, I go to the ATM machine, I use my credit card. I'm not going to use my debit card to get euros overseas or pounds in Great Britain. And every day I use my card, and then if I pay the bill in full or part of the bill, my credit score goes up. So I'm building credit while I'm using that credit card. And if tomorrow, and I'll do everything to protect my information, but if tomorrow someone gets my card number and charges $1 million on my credit card by federal law, my liability is zero. I have no liability. So yes, I love to shop online. I don't use a special card, I just use my credit card. If they don't deliver the merchandise, if they deliver it and it's broken, if the host site I went to was fictitious to begin with, I have zero liability. When you use your debit card, every time you reach for it, you're exposing the money in your account. The only person who's going to get robbed is you. When you use your debit card, you could use it for the next 50 years, 20 times a day. You will not raise your credit score by that much. And of course, when you use your debit card, you are liable up to a certain amount, and it takes a while in order to get that debit card fixed. So when we do post investigations at breaches, and we say to someone, on your incident, what happened? Well, I was in Target, but I used a Visa card, so I don't know, nothing. They canceled my card the next day. 2 days later, FedEx sent me a new card, and that was the last I heard about it. What about you? And I used a debit card there. They took $3,000 out of my checking account. It took me 2 months to get my money back while they said they were investigating. I had to pay my rent, had kids' tuition, everything. I couldn't pay it because they had my money. So I do it for that. So I had 3 sons that went off to college, and I said to them, I'm not giving you a debit card. I've actually applied for a credit card in your name. So it's your card. Of course, you're 18, you have no credit, so I guaranteed the card. So as a guarantor of the card, 3 things take place. 1, the bill comes to me and I'm responsible for the bill. So if you spend a lot of time in the bar, I'm going to know that. 2, I set the limit on the card. So whatever I want you to spend each month is while you're at school, I'll set that limit. 3rd, every month that I pay the bill goes on your credit. So by the time you get out of college, you should be looking at a credit score of about 800. You want to buy a car, buy a house, buy a condo, you're not going to need me to do that. All 3 of my sons came out of college with scores of around 800. One of the best things you can do for your kids is to teach them to learn to use credit early on and build credit in their name. Credit is a very important thing. 30 years ago, it only meant whether you got the car, you got the house. Today, everything is based on your credit. If a company hires you, they're going to check your credit. If you buy auto insurance, they're going to check your credit. You buy life insurance, they're going to check your credit. Everything is based on your credit, so you want to make sure that you maintain a good credit. And it's one of the best things you can do with your kids.